All right, so we're doing this again today. I got my buddy Jordan here, and he is much more well versed in the NFL than I am, as I am a strong college football guy. But like, I'll talk NFL with you, Jordan. Jordan,
Yes, sir. How we
it's
doing? How
good
we
to
doing?
see you, man. I know that
Likewise, brother.
you're back in Florida. I'm here in Texas now, so it's good to chat with you and reminisce a little bit about all these old
Definitely
conversations that you and I used to have.
bring us back to the office days, just chopping it up over some sports. Good times, good times.
Man, so and I know that college ball isn't like your total expertise, but you're catching on. You
You have formally turned me into an SMU fan, and I root for them every Saturday. Every
well,
Saturday, it's the only game I'll turn on. I'll turn
not
on,
not
and the
anymore.
Natty. Yeah. Dude, it hasn't been what we were wishing for, just like my Giants, but
Well, look, I mean, you saw my rant from yesterday, right? Like about just kind of summarizing the SMU season, and I mean what I said. Like, there's no reason to be disappointed or put your head down. Like, if you're a fan of SMU, like, keep your head up high. Like, it was still a successful season. Like, but you know, like I pointed out, this was a new team, and especially the defense. The defense really need to get their act together. So, and if you, I think you did tune into some of those earlier season games,
yeah.
and the defense was horrendous, bro. Like,
It, the expectations and some of these bets I were placing on them were, I don't know. I remember last season I was definitely when we were in the office talking a lot. I was watching all the games and Kevin Jennings. I'm a die-hard Kevin Jennings fan. Um, I would have loved to see some of that momentum from last season carried over to this season. And he had some really good plays this season. Uh,
well, KJ, he is the man. But you got to
he's the man.
remember too, and you may not even know this,
NFL
but
talent.
Kevin actually played with an ankle injury the majority of the season.
Okay.
So that's actually why you didn't see him scramble like we were used to seeing him last year, kind of doing that scramble and being quick on his feet. Like he couldn't. He had that ankle taped up most of the season.
Okay.
And it wasn't until after the bye week, so 3 weeks ago was a bye week, right? 2 weeks ago, Louisville came into Dallas and played us here. That Louisville game was the first game that Kevin didn't have any tape on his ankles. And that was also the first game where we saw him scramble and do some of those Kevin Jennings things that we got used to last year. Um, but like, I think that was it, right? Like last year, we were so hyped up and like about how they did it in their first year in the ACC and how successful all of that was. And I think we all just kind of expected that to carry forward into the new season.
The momentum and Rhett Lashley did his thing last year, and yeah, I guess so. What you're saying is defensive personnel and the defensive scheme
We had a
definitely
lot. We
changed
had
up.
a lot of guys graduate on the defense from last year to this year, right? So
Okay.
a lot of that defense was new, or it was players that weren't, they weren't the starters last year, but now they graduated up to a starting role. And I think they just needed to figure out who they were together as a defense. And, and like I said yesterday, like I think they did do that, but there's still work to be done. I think there's still issues on the defense. Unfortunately, we saw that again against Cal. But that offense, I mean, if you watch a fourth quarter of that Cal game, that offense was explosive. Like they're just marching down the field, doing whatever they want, scoring 3 touchdowns in a quarter, building this comeback only to end in disappointment. But it is what it is, and it's okay. It's all right. It's still very respectable to do what they're doing in the second year in a major conference. Like this is a new era. This is a new scenario for
There
SMU.
and to quickly kind of pivot and transition here, there's times where losing like that is respectable. But unlike my Giants, man, losing in that fashion 7 games in a row now. We're on a 7-game losing streak. It's been terrible.
It hasn't been a good season, right? But like, I was gonna hold off on this, but like, bro, we got to talk about that kick. We got to talk about that kick.
That was the moment I turned off the game. I turned it off.
I think you know more about what happened there internally, right? And like, if you're watching this and you didn't see the Giants kick this weekend, you need to go on the internet and watch this kick, because it actually there was no kick.
There shouldn't be a single soul that hasn't seen this kick. It's plastered on the internet. I don't think Koo will have a starting job in the NFL ever again.
So here's what I heard, and I heard this on the TV when they were talking about I think it was on Monday morning, right? They played on Sunday, right? Or they played Monday night.
They played Monday.
Okay, so it must have been yesterday morning. But so is it true? So the guy on the news, or sorry, whoever was commentating what I saw on the TV, the kicker was trying to put blame on the placeholder. Is that true?
I seen that, and the ball was slipping. It wasn't the greatest hold from that I've seen. And the ball was slipping, but that doesn't mean that you kick the ground. I've personally never seen anything like that in my life. Watching the NFL for 25 plus years, never seen anything like that. You got to at least make an attempt. If you miss the kick, you miss it. It's going to go down as a miss regardless if you kick the ball or you kick the floor. But that was just...
he just stopped, right? Like, he went... Okay, so, like...
It was a defining moment for the Giants.
And I watched a close-up of this a couple times, and I agree. It probably wasn't the greatest hold, right? But it wasn't, like, a terrible hold. And it definitely
make the effort.
He definitely didn't move the ball. Like, they made it sound like, or the kicker was saying that the placeholder was moving the ball. He didn't move the ball at all, but he dug his toe into the turf and just dug it in there. It just
at least a foot before the ball. There's a divot in the floor. It's like an 8-inch divot in the floor, a foot before the football. I've honestly never seen anything like it, and it's just a sentiment to the Giants season this year. The ebbs and flows. We started off with Russell Wilson under center, losing some games, and once Jackson Dart just injected life into the franchise, injuries started piling up, and our defensive coordinator just let everything slide. I could have ran for 200 yards on the Giants defense if I was out there. And that's not even an over exaggeration. The run defense, we had the worst run defense in the NFL this year. And that, caused us to lose some crazy games that we should have won in the fourth quarter. Eventually, Daboll got fired. Everything kind of just crumbled from there. And now we got Jackson Dart and a bag of chips rolling out there.
You also had that horrific injury.
Two of them. And it hurt my fantasies as well. I drafted Malik Neighbors in the first round. 4 out of 5 fantasy leagues this year. It's just for him to go out in game, 3? Yeah, it was week 3. Hurt, pain. It's a lot of pain.
Yeah. And then our boy.
Skattebo. Man, when I saw that, I feel like not only just the Giants fans, I feel like there was a lot of fans throughout America just held their head in silence. Yeah, it
hurt me. Like and actually, Mike Christensen. I think my buddy Mike Christensen. I think you know him, former pro baseball player. But so I'm in a fantasy league with him, and when that injury happened, he texted me, and he said, Don't go look at the video on the internet. What is the first thing that you do when someone tells you don't go look at the video on the internet? Bro, I'm going on X, where I'm finding that video and I'm gonna watch that video. Oh, it was so. I was tagged. I think I had 6 buddies send me that video within 20 minutes of it happening.
Anytime the Giants do something or something happens to them, I have a horde of people waiting to talk some smack to me.
Was
It was
there any
bad.
update on how he's doing?
So yeah, he's going into his whole podcasting now that he's injured, and he's doing a bunch of like streaming for like playing games and stuff. But on his podcast and streams, he gives us updates on his injury, and he can move his ankle back and forth now. Like he can move his foot and
So
everything.
we
So
think
he's
he's
out
going
there.
to
He's
come
in good
back,
spirits.
right? We think
He's
he's
going
going
to
to
come
come back.
back next year.
Yeah.
I don't expect him to take 100% of the snaps right away. They'll ease him back into it. It's kind of like coming back off of like a torn ACL. I think. I mean, the doctor said it was going to be a full recovery. He's going to be able to play again, no question. But they're going to want to ease him back in. We have a nice three-headed monster in the backfield right now with Singletary, Tracy, and Skattebo. So there's we'll ease him back into it. I don't expect him to take the like 80% of the snaps like he was weeks what 2 through 6 there.
He was killing it, bro. Like he was
Yeah.
killing it.
The whole league, he put the whole league on notice. Everybody knew Cam Skattebo's name after I think like
Well,
week
we
like
were
4.
watching him last year.
Last year. Yeah, he was lighted up in college. If you didn't know who Cam Skattebo was in college, you definitely know him in the NFL.
I just he's such a fun player to watch. And just like he's got that like dynamite personality too. He's just
Oh,
loud and like
injects it into the locker room. He
like
brings the
just
energy with him
bro,
everywhere
he's
he
he's
goes.
just putting Red Bull straight into his veins. Like
Oh yeah, you got the IV hooked
fired
up.
up.
Yeah.
Fired up
Oh
all the
yeah.
time. I
Him.
definitely hope he has a full recovery because I was not done getting my dose of scataboo in football, man. Like he's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
He's going to be great for the
Um,
NFL. The city of New York loves him. They love it. He won't have to pay for a slice of pizza ever again. Ever again.
yeah.
He'll walk it anywhere. Yeah.
Well,
It's the same with
how
Jackson
about
Dart.
how about me, Mr. College Football exclusive? Like I'm not really a fan of any NFL teams, but and you're going to hate this. I'm sorry. Um,
I think I seen it earlier in the. Are you wearing the Cowboys shirt right now?
ah, the
There
boy.
it is. There it is. They single-handedly destroyed my parlay, my Thanksgiving parlay
But
on
look, like
Thursday.
here's what happened, right? So I moved back to Dallas, Texas, and like I get here, and like you know me, like you know that I'm a fan of the NFL, but like I've never really been like, yeah, I'm a you know hardcore Dolphins fan or a hardcore this or that team fan. Like that's never been
Yeah.
me, but always had a lot of respect for NFL and the teams and the talented players. But like moving back to Dallas, man, it's different. Like, and Dallas fans are different, right? Like they are hot, like they are on fire for the Cowboys, but they also rage, bro. Like
I can imagine. I can definitely imagine.
like my neighbor, when I met him, and like obviously he's a Cowboys fan. Everybody's a Cowboys fan. But like I don't remember which game it was, but it was one that they probably should have won. But like I came outside, my neighbor Thomas is outside, and he's out there like getting ready to light his jersey on fire. Like it's that serious.
Oh, I had 4 Saquon Barkley jerseys that I burned when he went to the Eagles, and I'm sure Cowboys fans would have done the same if they were in that situation. So I can imagine.
But
I can imagine.
you
And I
know,
think
I
I think you
mean,
had went to the open practices, right?
we
Just
did,
going to the
yeah.
stadium, seeing all that in person, and
Super cool.
that'll
So
get you
like
there.
Cowboys, like Cowboys culture and like the Cowboys fan base, like they're great, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going to disagree with what I just said. But like they're generally like they're very passionate about their team, like win or lose.
Loyal fan base,
They're
very loyal.
very loyal. And like and you know me well enough to know that like when I commit, right? So being here, I looked at Kristen one day and I'm like, I don't know. She's like, what do you mean? And my wife is a hardcore Vikings fan. She's from
Vikings,
Minnesota.
yep,
So like
yep.
I married into that, watched the Vikings, but I'm like, I don't know, I feel like living here in Dallas, like I have to commit. I have to commit. I have to actually
I
commit.
tried to talk you off the ledge a couple
Yeah.
of times.
But like when I commit 100%. Like I'm all in. So I looked at
Mhm.
Kristen. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm I am gonna commit to being a Dallas Cowboys fan. She's like, no, you're not. So she and the girls went somewhere. I got in my car and went to Dick's Sporting Goods and I bought t-shirts and pants. And I come home and like now I got all this Cowboys shit everywhere. I got Cowboys blanket, pillow, like we got all this Cowboys stuff. Um,
Nice.
but on a serious note, right? And like I know you probably haven't watched a whole lot of Cowboys football this season.
Oh, I've watched a lot of football this season.
But
I'm
like
fluent with
Cowboys
the
football, right?
Cowboys.
Like I feel like Dak Prescott has been playing with fire in his soul this
Oh,
season.
100%. 100%. And now he's got confidence in all the weapons around him, whether that's
Yeah.
Javante Williams, CD,
George Pickens, man. George
George
Pickens.
Pick. He's a dog. You got to pay him now. Jerry's got to back up the Brinks truck. He's got to pay him.
Yeah, let's
And
not
that
do this holdout bullshit. Like pay the man. Pay the
and,
man.
and that's the thing. We all know George Pickens' temperament. I don't think that will fly very well with George Pickens if they try to prolong contract disputes. It's going to get messy, and that's what worries me though, because Jerry loves messy. Jerry loves doing it his way or the highway, and we'll see. We'll
You
see
know
where
that
that goes. And after the season, you have to retain him. There's no question about
you
it.
must. You must.
There's no question. We all were talking about how it would end up without Micah there, and it started off really slow, but now they found their rhythm with another stud in George
Been
Pickens
okay,
rather than
right?
Micah. It's been great. No, the
Been
offense is
okay.
humming. Like I think you guys are like what top three scoring offenses in the NFL.
Yeah,
Could be
so
number
the
one,
I
honestly.
mean, if you look at the and I've got it pulled up a little bit here, but like if you look at the stats, like it's actually not bad. And the Cowboys are 6-5-1 right now. You know,
Mm.
I think that could very easily have been like 8-3 or
Yeah, if
8 and
I would
4.
have to look at the schedule again.
You know, that first game, I thought they should have won that first game. What was that? It was the Eagles.
But yeah, that was opening day.
Yeah. So like I thought the Cowboys should have won that first game against the Eagles. But then they got payback, right? Like they just beat them. They beat the Chiefs. So now this weekend they got the Lions, and then the Vikings come into town. So like, I mean, dare I say what Cowboys fans say is like they still have a shot to go to the playoffs.
Oh,
It's not it's not
the way the
unreasonable to
Eagles are
say
playing
that.
right now, I don't know. Pulling up the Eagles too here because I do have some thoughts about the Eagles, and I hope I hope Wendy hears this.
Yeah, we'll send this to her. You got the Eagles, you know, and then and then you got the Patriots just like firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, the
I
Patriots are on a burner, and he, Drake May is my MVP at the moment. It's going to be a tight race. If there's one person who deserves it more than the rest at the moment, it's definitely Drake May. I love what they're doing there. They paid Ramondre Stevenson, but they're giving a lot of load work to Travion Henderson now. Um, they had that 1-2 punch in the backfield. They have solid receivers. Kind of reminds me almost of like a Kansas City situation where there's a bunch of just solid wide receivers, not one stud that really stands out. They thought it was going to be Stephon Diggs, but he's a veteran, kind of slowing down a little bit in his progression, but they just solid weapons all over the place, and of course Mike Vrabel's going to get that defensive right every time. I do like what the Patriots are doing a lot.
yeah. Hey, it's firing, you know. And then you got I mean, I'm just looking at the standings here like you know, and again, I'm not as well versed in the NFL as you are, but like I see, you know, like I see like I mean the Broncos have been pretty decent for the last couple of years, but like they're 10-2. And then like the most shocking one to me Chicago Bears at 9-3.
Wow. And this is something, this is a hot topic, and I have my own little hot take about it. Ben Johnson is the epitome of why coaching matters in this league. Because you can take a bottom tier franchise organization and with just injecting a little bit of life through good coaching, you could turn it around like that. Number one in that division, shocked. Absolute shock.
Yeah. And like very convincing.
Yeah, they also did have a kind of a weaker strength of schedule. I know I'll probably get some hate from some Bears fans in there, but you guys did have a little bit of a cakewalk. They're going to have their first true test this weekend. Maybe not first true test, but I think they're in Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken.
They're
And
at
that is
Green Bay, right? And this is actually
in
funny.
the
Like so
cold.
they're at Green Bay this week. Then next week, the Browns come to see them, and then Green Bay goes to see them in Chicago. So they're
Yeah.
playing Green Bay twice in 3 weeks.
Okay.
It's just kind of crazy that they're playing them that quickly, right? Twice, same matchup twice in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's the division rivalries. They have the back to back. Like sometimes you have to face them back to back. Like the Giants played the Eagles within like a 3 game stretch. It was brutal. It was brutal. It's when we lost Cam Skattebo. But no, I like what the Bears are doing, man. They have another 1-2 punch in the backfield. I feel like that's really where the NFL's trending towards is having a good backfield, solid running backs that just open up lanes and space for receivers to get open. The play action pass, just developing more time for the quarterback. It's definitely pivoting more towards like a run heavy league. And if you don't have a stud running back or at least a good 1-2 punch, you're falling behind the pack. Definitely.
Well, and
Definitely.
then you got, my one of my favorite guys of all time, Aaron Rodgers, even though they just lost back to back two, right? Like their record, I think, is 6-6. But you got Aaron Rodgers out there still slinging that ball just like a
Yeah, with a
maniac.
broken wrist. He's got a fracture in his left wrist, and he's going out there still slinging it. Still slinging it. That was
I
an
mean,
unfortunate loss to the Bills. I don't even think it was really Aaron Rodgers' fault. It's either
no, man,
him
the guy,
or
the
Mason.
guy can still play ball. Like the guy can still
Oh,
play ball, and he might be old, and you can say
100%.
whatever you want about, whatever your disagreements are with him personally. But like the dude is he's one of the greatest players ever.
He can still sling it, and he throws a pretty ball. He throws a
Well,
pretty ball, and he's still got it between the ears.
well, you,
And that's
you
all
know,
that
my
matters.
wife is a big Minnesota fan, so like in the off season when Minnesota was going through all their quarterback changes, and
They were
Aaron
very
Rodgers
close.
was dancing around like he's just like, I'll play for pretty much whoever.
They were very close to getting Aaron Rodgers. I think before the Jets got him, if I'm
Man, I
not
was
mistaken.
saying over and over, I'm like, Minnesota needs a quarterback. Why not? Why not bring Aaron Rodgers in?
We
Bring him
talked
in
about
for
this
a
last year. I
year.
wanted him in the Giants uniform
Yeah,
when he left.
right.
When he left the Jets, I was like, just stay in MetLife, stay in East Rutherford, put on a Giants uniform. But we went with Russell.
But
That did
like
not work out well.
like Minnesota, right? Let me see if I can actually pull it up. Like Minnesota has a lot of weapons for a guy like Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, you have the best wide receiver in the NFL, great tight end, and then
So
even Jordan
what
Addison's a great
what could
wide
a
receiver.
what could a current Aaron Rodgers do with weapons like that? I think it would have been fireworks, man. Like I really believe that.
Oh, without doubt, especially with I mean, the Vikings have a great head coach, Kevin O'Connell. He's a dog. Um, if he was there giving veteran leadership to at least JJ McCarthy, the trajectory of the franchise, just the veteran leadership that Aaron Rodgers brings into that locker room would be worth it. Whether or not he goes out on the
And
field, gets hurt or anything, just that he's a great
you,
locker room
you just
piece.
you just hit the nail on the head because this is actually the exact conversation that I had to Kristen. Said you bring in Aaron Rodgers for a year or two, right? You've got high hopes for this fresh, young, new quarterback, right? That everybody wants to be the future star. Bring in Aaron. Let Aaron take JJ under his wing, teach him everything he knows, right? But
Yeah.
you let Aaron Rodgers be the QB number one for at least this season. You let JJ absorb everything from, and
You
then
let Justin Jefferson have a great season too.
yeah,
He's
and
mad
then
right now.
when Aaron really, when things start being sore a little bit too much, too often, and he's ready to retire, you let him retire. But now you've got this young gun who has the potential to be great, and all he's done for the last year is just learn and absorb from a great veteran like Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah,
Personality issue,
couldn't agree
like
more.
personal conflicts aside, right? I know there's a lot of people out there that think Aaron Rodgers this and that and whatever, and he's a weirdo or whatever. Forget it. Let him teach him how to play the quarterback position the way that he knows how to play it. It's a
Oh
win-win.
yeah, the knowledge that he could pass on to a young quarterback like JJ McCarthy is invaluable, well worth more than whatever his contract is right now in Pittsburgh. And I don't even think he's passing along that knowledge to anybody in Pittsburgh. What, Mason Rudolph has been a backup quarterback for the past 7 years? Yeah, there's nobody. There's no young quarterback talent that he's training up over there.
No,
And
Aaron's just over there slinging it, man.
I
He's
wanted
just
him.
happy
I
to
wanted him in the
play.
Giants jersey, training up Jackson Dart. We ended up getting two good veteran quarterbacks to teach him from. I love Jameis Winston, one of my favorite players of all time. He's got the
Crab
locker room
legs.
culture. Yeah, yeah, the crab legs. uh, that man is a highlight reel, just off the field
He is.
and on the field. I don't know
He
if you
is.
saw that flea flicker catch that he made, or some crazy trick play that he made. That was crazy against the Lions.
No, I think you always want to pay attention or watch whatever he's got going on because it might be funny or entertaining or it
He's
just
a
might be
national
cool to
treasure. It
watch.
needs to be
Yeah.
protected at all costs. At all costs. Love Jameis, man.
Oh man, that's great. Let me see. Let me look at here. All right. So, big game tomorrow. We got them boys playing in Detroit. That actually should be a very good game.
That's a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So
in Detroit.
tomorrow night's game is the Cowboys at the Lions. The the line on here says Detroit by 3.
So that's actually a crazy line. Detroit just announced earlier today that there are 4 starters out of this game with injury. And then on top of the 4 starters, they just listed Amon-Ra St. Brown as questionable. Um, in fantasy, he's projected 0 points, which is a really strong indicator that he's not going to play.
That's going to be really rough for the Lions.
Yes, while you have Dallas on the heater at the moment, beating some really good teams, some really good defenses. I think they played. No, on Thursday they were in Dallas. Okay, I thought they played in Kansas City
Yeah.
for a second. But
Yeah, they were here in Dallas. I mean, I'm obviously picking the Cowboys here. I would be a horrible fan if I didn't. But
I think
in
they have
all
a solid chance.
in all
That's like a
seriousness,
must-watch game.
I think this will be a very good game. Um, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys actually, walk away with a win here. Especially considering
The
all
Giants
the
almost beat the Lions a couple
yeah,
weeks ago with Jameis.
well, and then all these potential injuries and guys missing, right? Like that's a potentially a real problem. And the
Yeah, so I
Cowboys
have
are
to.
hot. They are hot. Like they're coming off of a couple of really good wins, and I think confidence is up. I think Shoddy's like kind of finding his way too,
Brian Schottenheimer has genuinely surprised me, and you know how much I was
right?
talking about him before the season started. I was like, I have no faith, nothing like that. He has been able to turn it around after a really shaky start to the season, which is, that speaks volumes for him. He's impressed me for sure.
Yeah, I think and you and I had this like I think we were both kind of I don't
Yeah, like
know.
Schottenheimer
I don't know. I don't know.
didn't
Maybe
have
it was
much
because
success. Had a couple different stops in his career as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, and maybe it was because I maybe just didn't know enough about him himself, like obviously the Schottenheimer family, like I mean these
Yeah.
guys are, you know, like they are football. If you had to put a picture of a family next to the definition of the word football, it's probably the Schottenheimers. Um,
Yeah, no, definitely.
but like I like what he's been doing. I also like, and maybe I only see this here because I live in Dallas, right? Like we have a countdown on the TV like 48 hours before the game starts here.
Oh,
Like
really? Wow.
that's how for real this place is. But what I really like about um, what Shotty's doing with the team, he seems to be really engaged with his players, and he seems to like really want to build this culture, like kind of like what Rhett Lashley's doing at SMU. And I'm not trying to go
Yeah.
back to college football, but like like they try to like kind of create this culture and like this team togetherness and like this great like bonding, right? And like Shotty comes in the locker room, win or lose, but like when they win, he's really fired up. And he's calling out everyone that's made, any type of significant play. Like he's calling them out in the locker room and they're all cheering for each other.
Yeah, and
And
the
like
team is reacting well to Shoddy.
this is what a team needs, like any team in any sport. Like you need a coach that can bring you guys together and celebrate together, but also like criticize you together and like work to improve, right? Like call out the mistakes that are made. But like when there's reason to celebrate, man, celebrate that. Like really celebrate that. um Even though these guys are pros and they get paid a bunch of money, like it has to still feel good to get celebrated when you do a good job in a game, right? Like I would think.
Oh, without doubt. And like I said again, coaching is so important in this league. One bad coach could set a franchise back years, years. The whole culture, building up a culture in the locker room, everything it translates to the field. Without a culture, without that leadership, you just nobody cares. Look at the Giants. Look at the Giants, man. Perfect example. We have talent all over the roster, but you just go out there and just put on a clown show every week. uh,
What about you? You have any thoughts on this? Joe Burrow's back.
Joe Shiesty.
Cincinnati's going to Buffalo. The line is Buffalo 5.5. I like. I've been kind of disappointed in the Buffalo Bills.
They've been a little bit lackluster. Josh Allen has been doing some alien-like things throughout the season. It's kind of teetered off a little bit in the past couple of weeks. James Cook has definitely supplemented that. It's good. That's a good matchup. Wow.
Should be a
I'm
good
looking.
game.
Yeah, I'm going through these games right now. Between the first matchup, Dallas at Detroit, and that's a must-win game for Detroit too. So that's going to be a really good game.
But I'm like
Must-win game for
like
Cincinnati.
I'm a fan of Joe Burrow. I think he's a great quarterback. I think it's unfortunate he's had so many injuries and like, he's missed most of the season. But like, so he was back last week, which is kind of like that warm up. Like, you don't really expect him to come out guns blazing hot, but like, do I kind of expect Joe Burrow to come out guns blazing hot this week? I do. I do.
And I think last week was a ramp-up week for him. I think they had a little set game plan for him, ease his way back in there. And Joe Burrow naturally has had a really shaky start to the seasons every year. And this was kind of, his start to the season this year coming back from that injury. I mean, last week Lamar kind of just gave the game away to them. This is going to be a different game. This is going to be a true test to what the Cincinnati Bengals really are right now. They have a lot of payroll tied up in that offense right now. Not so much on the defense.
I think a good game to watch, right? Like, I think a good game to watch.
Some of these matchups, I'm looking through the sports book right now. Some of these matchups are great.
Yeah, what
to
do you
circle
like?
back, I think the Dallas +3. I think that's a great line on the spread. It's a must-win game from Detroit. That's going to be a really good game. For this second game, the +5 on the Bengals. In the cold, out in Buffalo. I'd have to look at some injury reports. Yeah, my first guess is going to be the Cincinnati +5 there.
Is it going to be one of these weekends where they get the fans to come in at like 5 a.m. to shovel the snow out, or is it just like a little bit cold and a little bit of snow?
I actually have an app, NFLweather.com. Little plug for them there, even though we're not sponsored. Shout out NFL Weather.
Right? Like that, but that's always kind of a wild card. But then again, like Cincinnati's not.
I think Joe Burrow plays well in the conditions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just excited to see him play. Like we haven't really gotten to see him this season, and I think he's a very talented quarterback. Always
Forty
enjoy
percent
watching him.
chance of snow.
Three,
40,
40.
40, 7 mile per hour winds in Buffalo, 27 degrees,
Okay.
and I don't think it was last year. It was 2 or 3 years ago where the Bengals went into Buffalo in the playoffs in the snow and beat Josh Allen. That was 3 years ago. That was crazy. They're gonna start kind of like this rivalry. We all know about the rivalry between Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, and Joe's the only one who's ever beat Mahomes like that. They're starting their young rivalry right here, the Burrow and Allen. That's going to be a really good game. Some must-watch games this weekend,
I think
definitely.
that is going to be a good game. What
Another
other games?
sneaky,
What,
another
what else
sneaky
do you
game
like?
I'm looking at, the Colts Jags game in Jacksonville.
Ooh,
Colts coming off a tough loss. Daniel Jones with that broken fibula, but still slinging it. Jacksonville's got a gritty defense. Jacksonville's also fully healthy now. Brian Thomas Jr.'s back. I think they got a couple defensive pieces back. That's going to be another must-watch game. Give me Colts coming off a tough loss at minus 135. Yeah, give me the Colts money line all day on that one. I
yeah.
don't I don't have big faith in Trevor Lawrence. I'm not a big Trevor Lawrence guy, but for the line at minus 135, I think the Colts are. I would hammer that, and we could do this. We can go through some of the best bets here too.
It should be a good game to watch, and then I mean,
Bears at Green Bay. We were talking about that a little bit earlier.
yeah,
That's another must-watch game.
yeah. I think that's going
Bears
to be my
plus six
afternoon
and a
game.
half. So
I think
even
that's
Vegas knows that the Bears has had an easy schedule leading up to this point.
I think
The
that's going to
Bears
be
are
my
not.
afternoon game though. Like I think that's the game that I got to watch.
That's must
Um,
watch.
that's a must watch in
Houston
Green
KC
Bay.
is a must watch too. I think that's a really good game to watch. They've both been kind of not the most fun to watch this year, but that game's going to be a nice little slugfest. And then the Eagles Chargers at the end of close it all off on Monday night. That's going to be a really good game. The Eagles aren't even fun to watch, and as a diehard Giants fan, I harbor so much hate in my heart for Eagles for the Eagles fan. I always hate on the Eagles. Give me the Chargers money line.
Hey, those Eagles aren't flying so high lately.
Yeah, yep. I knock on Wendy's window every morning like, haha.
Yeah, yeah. Do like a broken wing, like a mutant wing. Yeah, I mean they got what? They got back-to-back losses now. They lost to the Cowboys and then they lost to the Bears.
In terrible fashion. Like, where is the offense?
Yeah.
Where is Saquon Barkley goes from almost 2,000 yards rushing, over 2,000 yards scrimmage last year to not even cracking like the top 20 rushers in the NFL. I've never seen anything like it. The drop off is insane. AJ Brown is one more dud game from crashing out and leaving the team. Nick Sirianni, I'm surprised there's not a lot of heat around their head coach, Nick Sirianni. There was so much heat around him last year, and then he won a Super Bowl, and they magically just wanted to erase all of his wrongdoings. But he is not carrying the team how he was last season. There should be some more talk about Nick Sirianni's job. Definitely.
There probably will be.
Oh, 100%. And I definitely have to tune into a couple more shows talking about that. I was on it a lot more last year. This year I'm in so many fantasy leagues and I've been like kind of scattered a little bit, but I've been glued in watching all the highlights and games, and this has been
Man,
A
I'm in
disaster for Eagles.
too many fantasy
Disaster.
leagues. Like I don't know how this happened, but I'm in four this year, and like that's too many for me. I think you're in like even more than four.
I'm in five. I'm in
Yeah,
five right now.
I don't know how you're
It's
doing that.
it's a lot, and like I said earlier, too. I just want everybody to know how all of my fantasy leagues went because I definitely tried to draft the same team in a lot of my leagues, but I went Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., Lad McConkey in like three leagues, which terrible. I'm not making the playoffs in those three leagues. The other ones, I was able to get James Cook in the second round and Malik Neighbors. I got in every. It's been a rough fantasy stretch, but having in five leagues, especially with that kind of start, it does something to you, man. It's not great for
Yeah.
the psyche.
It, for me, it's too many. Like I'm doing well in two of them, and I'm not doing well in two of the other ones, and that kind of tells me that like, hey, BJ, maybe just stick to two fantasy leagues. Like maybe
I'm
that's
dropping
good
some,
for
yeah,
you. Like
next
maybe
year.
that's good for you. But I mean, hey, no regrets. Like like once again, I committed, so I'm in. I'll do my best. Um, but sometimes, I mean, this is not in our control. We do the best we can with the players that we have, and sometimes
Yeah,
shit just
I blame the
happens that
players.
we have no control over. But that's the beauty of fantasy football. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Fantasy's great.
Oh, I love fantasy. Love fantasy.
But hey, man, I I really appreciate you coming on, man, and just talking some ball.
Definitely.
We definitely need to do this more often, especially now that we're in this spot in the season. Like this is the
Oh,
best time of the football season. Best time
we
of year.
we everyone has a good feel for what's going on. We're able to drop some great little nuggets of information here for some people to put the pieces together. I think it's a great going over some of these the sports books, going over some of these lines and our opinions. I think we should definitely do it some more. Definitely.
Yeah, and I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna bring our buddy Zach in here with us.
But without doubt, as he
It's gonna
as he
be
literally hit me up a couple of minutes ago. Yeah.
it's gonna be the three of us, and it's just gonna be fire. I'll I'll get
Heat.
Zach in here. We'll coordinate this,
Oh,
and
most definitely.
yeah, we'll have a good convo. All right, well, good deal.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Yeah, man.
we're gonna do this again real soon, and hey, it was good talking to you, man. So
Great catching up, man.
yeah.